5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey.
What's going on?
What happened, Jack?
I was reading the description. It's just roasty oatmeal stout.
Yes.
I have so many inappropriate comments. Okay, cool.
Don't go there.
I'm not. Sorry. Hey, everybody. What's going on?
How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to TTABA, the Unexplained Paranormal Talk.
We're not going to tell you what's going on because it's unexplained.
And Jack's
oh man,
You get really good head with this.
yeah, you do. Chocolatey head.
it's funny.
Look at that. Look at that. That's amazing.
That is pretty mean. I haven't poured mine yet, but
It's just
I had to do it.
all right, let me pour mine.
Do it.
Oh, thanks for joining us tonight, folks. Got a really special show lined up for you.
Sweet.
Tell them about it, Joey.
Hmm?
Tell them about it. Oh, I got too much.
Well, we have a really fine group of paranormal investigators called Entity Voices. And what's really special is we were on their show once.
Yes, we were. A couple weeks ago.
Monday nights, 6 o'clock Pacific and 9 o'clock Eastern. They have their show on KGRA Digital Broadcasting. And it's very awesome. And so we're really excited to bring them on. When we were on their show, we shared some of the evidence that we've gotten in our investigation. So we thought turnabout is fair play, and it would be fun to do the same thing with them. So,
And they have some pretty incredible evidence, actually.
yes, we do.
And we'll save the best one for later to make sure everybody stays tuned in. But you don't want to miss it because it's really freaking cool.
Are we just going to talk about it, or we get to see some stuff?
We're going to see
Oh,
some
yeah.
stuff. We're going to start
Hell
bringing
to the
people
yeah.
on right
Hell
now.
to the
How about that?
Bring 'em
Should
in.
we do it? Let's
Bring
do
'em
it.
in.
All right. Bring you guys in here.
Ooh, wow. All at once.
Told you.
Tell you.
There's
We
a
got,
bunch of them.
how's it going?
Good.
Going good.
How are you guys doing?
We are, I'll use spectacular again.
Oh,
I'll say
yeah.
spectacular. I like that word.
And I guess that's kind of rubbing off. I mean,
Do you feel
If you-
spectacular too?
you look spectacular, Keith. So it's just,
Well, ditto there, Joey.
makes me feel spectacular.
Can we drink this now?
Yeah. Jack's like, we drink this now.
It's all fizzy and stuff. It's awesome.
I still got too much head. What are you guys drinking tonight?
But like,
Yeah. I don't want to drink alone.
I have some wine.
Okay, that works.
Hard
Shot
seltzer. Yeah, we started with a shot, chased it with Bud Light.
Shiny.
That's always a good thing. So yeah, we're really excited about having you guys on tonight. And we were on your show a couple of weeks ago, and we really appreciate that. Thanks for having us. But yeah, we've Joey and I've been going through some of your guys' evidence, and it's pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
we're excited to share it with everybody.
Yeah, you guys would know. You guys shared a lot of really great stuff when you were with
Yeah.
us.
Mhm.
We appreciate
Yeah,
that.
there was some really cool stuff you guys shared when you were on our show. So this is a real honor for us to be on yours and get to share some of ours. So thank you.
Cool. Yeah, our pleasure. Go ahead and tell everybody about your group and how you got started and where they could find you and all the good stuff.
Tony, we'll
Okay.
let you.
Yeah, Tony.
Well, My wife and I started Entity Voices about 11 and a half years ago. And then we ran into, on an investigation, Chris and Audra, who have been investigators. I'll let them say how long they've been doing it. But we met them. And then we started the show with Chris and Audra. And we interviewed Ron and Lourdes, and they were not only spectacular guests and had amazing captures, but we asked them to join the team. And so we've kind of evolved over the last couple of years into Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence, which is the show we do. And I'll let them talk about their background and how they got started.
Cool.
Ron and Lourdes, go ahead. You sure? Because we're the new kids on the block. That's okay. Go for it. that's my dance skill as far as it goes.
Yeah, I want to see that again.
Yeah, I don't.
That's not the right stuff.
Yeah. No, it's not. No, it's not. Well, we're in New Jersey, where I'm originally from. Lourdes is from New York. I began investigating the paranormal when I lived in Los Angeles, Queen Mary, and places like that, the Glen Tavern Inn. I moved back here in 2014. Almost 2 years later, we met. She was interested in the stuff, had never done it before. So, of course, I figured, well, if we're going to stay together, let's see if I can drag her into this mess. Success.
Sold.
And then we had not only the honor, and we appreciate being here tonight with you guys, because you guys were fantastic guests. We had the honor of being asked to join one of the greatest 4 people that we've met in this field, nicest, kind-hearted, genuine, and really talented investigators on Entity Voices. So when they asked us to stay, we were like, wow, that's a huge compliment. Yeah,
we were honored. And
we are honored to have you stay.
Yeah, for sure.
And I had paranormal experiences at a young age. My family practiced espiritista, which is spiritualism. And I saw something that traumatized me. So I was always interested, but I never got into it until I met Ron. And then I'm like, And he took me to a couple of places and I was hooked. That was it.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
Well, I started as a child. I've been sensitive since I was a kid, so I've been chasing ghosts my whole life, but started investigating officially about 25, 30 years ago. Oh, wow. And then Audra and I both were going through a divorce at the same time, and we started dating. And then one night we were watching Ghost Hunters on TV, and I looked at her and said, "Do you want to go on an investigation?" She goes, "A real one?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "Have you done that before?" I said, "Oh, yeah." And talked her into going, and she's been hooked for the last 11 years. So, and that's how we ran into Tony and Cheri. We were doing the Birdcage Theater in Tombstone.
Yep. Tombstone.
And we were also staying at a haunted bed and breakfast that was one of the old brothels, and they happened to be staying in the same bed and breakfast, and we found out that we lived about 2 miles from each other up in Surprise, Arizona.
Yeah.
That was before we moved out here, and then we started investigating with Tony and Cheri, and that lasted for 2 years before we moved here, Tony?
Yeah, maybe even a little longer, but yes.
Yeah. The haunted bed and breakfast. Nothing brings people together like prostitutes.
Prostitutes, waffles, and ghosts.
Doesn't get any better than that. Of course, the amount of alcohol we had after the investigation, I'm sure that helped too.
Oh yeah,
that does help.
That was topper.
It made the dead prostitutes look better.
Yeah.
So you guys are really unique because you're spread out all over the country. So
We are.
I think we had asked you this question before, but you guys all together, collectively as a group, have never done an investigation together.
Correct.
They have.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Not all of us.
Not
No.
all of us.
Right. But the 6 of you together. Yeah.
Working on that.
We are
Yeah,
working.
we're working on it.
So what's the first one planned?
Well,
Put you on the spot.
Yeah.
the first one is planned for August. We're hoping maybe Chris and Audra, they've got a wedding for their son and all sorts of other things going on. So their timing during that time will be difficult, and we totally understand that. But if they can break away for a weekend or something, great. It may be all 6 of us. Otherwise, it may be 4 of us, my wife and I, and Ron and Lourdes. Timing with investigations when you're traveling large distances or across the country is definitely more of a challenge. But
Right.
we will definitely find an opportunity for all 6 of us to investigate a location, because that, to me, because we all have different specialties, we all do things slightly different. We all have sets of skills that, when combined, I can't wait to see what occurs.
It's gonna be phenomenal.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Seeing what each of you bring to the table, I mean, once you combine that, it's going to be really freaking cool. I can't wait to see what evidence you guys get then.
Yeah, and we have a genuine love for each other, I think, too. Like I was not just blowing smoke. Like, honestly, these are four of my favorite people on the planet, just because they're all such genuinely good people, and we all do paranormal investigating and research and whatever else. But at the end of the day, we're human beings and friends first, and nobody in this group puts themselves over that, and I have a huge amount of respect and admiration for it.
I mean, I seriously can't wait to see them and like hug them.
That'll be nice, no doubt
I
about
already
it.
hugged you.
That's funny. Well, should we start viewing some of your evidence here? I would like to.
Let's do it. Let's kick that off.
Is there anything in particular you guys would like to talk about first that you sent over, Tony? Or
No, I think I sent clips from all sets. So yeah, just play what you want, and whoever it is can give details and explain.
Yep, surprise us.
He said all sets, right? Not all sex.
Yeah,
I didn't sign off on those.
Yes.
Well, nowadays there's just one.
Right.
It doesn't matter what bathroom you use.
that depends.
Use those too.
So which one are you going to pick, Joey?
Oh, so many.
I know there's really good ones.
There's some that I have lots of questions about. Should we go through the ones that might take some time?
Just click one.
Yeah.
Click.
Roulette.
Yeah, roulette.
Yeah, close your eyes and pick one.
And we can talk about it afterwards based on whoever it is that you pick.
Let's talk about how cool Lourdes' name is. That is awesome.
Isn't that cool?
That's the most original name I've ever heard. That's awesome.
So
So
we
we're
call
trying-
her.
Is that a family name?
We call her Loki because our friends in Queens, Anthony Seminelli from Seekers Club of the Paranormal, they couldn't say Lourdes. They kept saying Lotus,
Lodi.
Right.
Lotus.
That's an awesome
on
name.
Loki.
Yeah.
Awesome name.
All right, we're trying something different tonight with the camera, so let's see how this goes.
Yeah, this is a pretty short clip right here.
See if I can blow it up. There we go.
There,
nice.
okay.
Ooh. Looks like a picture.
I'm not hearing it.
Sounded like it started playing.
Yeah, well, it was playing.
Turn it up.
Here, okay. Well, we'll skip to.
All right.
Yeah, that picture was starting to intimidate me. They all look
Badass.
angry with their arms crossed. I'm like, I'm backing up from the camera.
It's a mean looking
Badass
group.
going on there.
Because they start right away. So,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, we got noise.
All right.
Is there an Emily here?
I heard a tuba.
You have some really fun things come out of that. Spirit
that was
box,
That was a ghost box. We call it the retro box. It was made by Katie Hulte of Hulte Paranormal. It has random and linear sweep, AM and FM. And we were in a basement of a place in Morristown, New Jersey called B. McNally's. And the reception on the radio for sweeping frequencies was not good. We didn't hear that at the time. She kind of did, though. And we got you hear a choral sing song, "No Babe, That's It," answering her.
Emily was someone, the history, I don't know, it was,
An owner,
I can't
I
remember, it was an owner or something. So I was asking for Emily. Apparently she wasn't there.
No, babe.
Go, babe.
No, babe.
That was cool.
That's it. Sorry.
Yeah.
That was a great response, though. I love the sing song in that response, and that that does occur a lot when getting spirit box responses. So that was cool.
That was a hard investigation too, because it was a morning investigation, and I had gone to one the night before, so I slept like 3 hours and a half, left my gear in the car. She didn't go the night before, so she looked like sunshine and roses, and I looked like what you put that on under the grave.
That was cool.
You want to pick one there?
Yeah, I want you to do the sleeping one.
Okay.
That's the one that creeped me out.
Yeah, no.
We have a lot of questions.
You got some explaining to do on this one. So
hang on, let me get it set up here.
all right, it's going.
Mm.
The mosquito nets.
Love that one.
Okay, so this was the old Phelps Dodge Hospital in Ajo, Arizona. And my wife and I, along with Chris and Audra, when they were here, operated that building. We let people do overnight investigations. We did public tours. We taught people how to use basic equipment, let them investigate. So this was, I don't remember, a month and a half, 2 months ago. My wife and I and son went down there, and we would always investigate until late at night. Well, this night we said, you know what? We're going to actually sleep here and see what happens. What you're hearing, and all three of us are on that camera. There is no one else in the building. We set up parabolic mics throughout the hospital during the night, and what you are hearing are time-stamped audio to the time-stamped DVR video. We had all these noises that were occurring throughout the night while we were sleeping, voices, footsteps, and that's what you're seeing.
So all those sounds are coming from different spots in the building at the time that video is being shot.
Correct.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Tony, I think that's the one that I told you. I hear they're having nightmares. I hear
you know
that.
what? And I did go back and listen. I do hear that as well.
Yeah, that they're having nightmares.
Definitely hear something whispering. I didn't catch that though. Lourdes is always so good at that kind of stuff.
Yeah, she's a court reporter by trade, so she hears everything.
That merits playing it again. I think.
I think so.
Let's do it again.
Yeah.
Let's play it again.
Before you play it, the thing that really freaks me out are the little pitter-patter feet that come.
Mm-hmm.
So listen for that. It's freaky.
Isn't that the dog?
Yeah, that was crazy. Okay, let's
dog
play it
barking.
again. I'm sorry, that gives me goosebumps.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Yeah, I did make out nightmare.
They had complete control of the environment. He knew exactly where everybody was, what everybody was doing. So every possibility to explain that away.
Was
You heard nightmare, right? Did you hear nightmare?
I did.
Twice. At the very end, very softly, they're having nightmares. They're having nightmares.
Did you? Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, I
Yes,
didn't pick that
that's
one up.
exactly correct.
I heard a dog moving
Exactly
furniture.
correct.
The most intriguing part about that is Audra and I have personally been in that hospital, and there's only 3 doors that open up to get into that hospital. 2 of them deadbolt and have a latch bolt from the interior. The other door, you need a key to the deadbolt that I personally installed myself.
Yeah, twice.
Yeah, twice. And every other door that leads into that hospital, I have screwed shut.
Yep.
Yeah.
What are you,
No
what are you
physical
sleeping in?
way. What's
Are
that?
there tents over you, or what is it? What is it?
Yeah, we put up like a screen, like a screen tent, just to keep spiders, bugs. They are in the hospital, no doubt about it. I mean, we killed brown recluses in there, and it's just not something we wanted to be able to get at us. And
Right.
I don't know what it was. It was like $13 or something like that for those 2 screen tents, and they worked perfect.
No, that's good peace of mind. That's good peace of mind. I kept hearing, I don't know what it was, but it sounded like dogs barking.
All those were actual dogs barking.
No, it was either like furniture scraping on the floor or dogs barking.
Or somebody farts in their sleep.
See,
Those are barking.
We
I
cut
talk in
that
my
out.
sleep.
Yeah, the barking spiders.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an incredible piece of evidence,
Crazy.
man. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Noise.
and until you explained it, that it was different noises around the hospital. My first thought was, how the hell did you stay asleep with that noise? If that was right by me, I would have woke up screaming.
Was there power?
It
in the
was a
building?
combination of noises that happened throughout the building. Like I said, matching the timestamp that I was showing the video of sleeping. And no, it didn't all come from one parabolic mic. It came from
That's really
multiple.
cool. I like that. I
The
like that a lot.
footsteps was crazy. That was absolutely crazy.
There's no power in that building, yes? Or is there power in that building?
Only in the newer section. The building was originally constructed in 1918. It opened in 1919. That section of the building does not have any power at all, which is
Very
where
cool.
you see us sleeping that night. There was no power. The newer section was built in 1937, and there is power in parts of that section.
Just forgive my ignorance, but I've never been there, obviously. So
No, totally understand. No apologies needed.
That's
And when
right.
Tony says power, when Tony says power, there's like 1 outlet and 2 lights that work. You turn on the rest of them, you're about to burn the place down.
Right.
Yep.
It's like 1937 electrical. It's
very cool.
The old screw-in fuses.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That was a great catch, man. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very cool.
Do another one. Yeah, let's do another one.
There's tons here.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to remember this one. It says this is cool. So hold on.
All right. We're going to do that one.
Yeah.
Okay, can I just say that's creepy?
That's super creepy.
Yeah, that's the word.
I'm about to make it even more creepy.
Okay.
This was a private home investigation we did back in 2019. And the woman called us up and said, I have something in my house. I need your help. I need it immediately. So we went over there. We did a initial investigation. Yes, she had strange EMF levels. She had shadow figures she was seeing. Well, as we were trying to decide next steps on how best to handle it, she called us up one evening and said, it's here. I know it's here. I said, okay, do you have a video camera? Set it up. Hopefully it has audio. She did. And when she sent me the recording, you couldn't hear a thing the entity was saying. You could hear what she was saying perfectly, but you could not hear the responses. So we manipulated the audio. So now when it's played, you can't really hear the questions she's asking, but there are things like, why are you here? What's your name? But you can make out what the entity is saying. And it absolutely freaked us out when we were able to hear it. So of course we went over there, we saged the house, holy water, you name it, to cleanse it. The really funny part was when we cleansed it, my wife was running a recorder and they basically said, F you, Tony, we'll find you, we're going to get you. Well, 2 years, 3 months later, last month, we got an EVP from a guy in Las Vegas saying, I got a problem, I got a negative spirit here. He gave me the EVP. I started playing it. The second sentence on the EVP was, we're back, Tony. F you. Same voice.
Wow. Tony, did you have your breasts exposed?
Yeah, I know. You know, it was hot. It was summer.
You had a tip jar.
You got to make those extra funds.
I'm going to go way out there for a second. The voice almost sounded alien, didn't it? Did it not? Like, it was just, you watch those fake alien interviews and stuff. It was just creepy as shit.
Well, some of that was probably from the audio manipulation to get it audible.
Was there somebody in that room where that video was being shot?
The only person in the house was the homeowner asking the questions, which, like I said, you can't really hear what she's asking. You can hear her saying something, and then the entities, what you can hear respond.
Like I always see the light anomalies and different things from the video. I don't know if it's because of the lower quality video or if light's changing in the room, but when I see those things, those are the things that always catch my eye because I don't hear people talking to me very well, let alone deciphering what digital things are saying. It's like when somebody's talking to me directly, I'm like, huh? So yeah, I don't hear that stuff as well, but the visual stuff I see. And
there were all sorts of light anomalies, shadow. Matter of fact, I've never seen, and we're not big on orbs, but I have a video from her place where this orb literally bounces against the wall, and it sounds like somebody took a tennis ball and banged it against a brick wall. And then when it ricochets off, it speeds away, and there's this sound like it's got some turbo engine or something.
Sound like the Jetsons car?
Yeah.
Right.
That's it going, oh, shit.
Who put that wall there?
Exactly.
That's a significant explanation and catch as far as orbs go, too, because when energies are of a higher vibrational matter, they can pass through ones that are even higher than that. So if the orb, let's say, is of a more denser material and it hits something that's even more dense, like something like perceivably like a wall, then that could be what generates some kind of a sound that's even the recorder gets, but maybe your ear can't pick up.
Right. Well, that's an excellent point, and the reason why we keep that clip, most orb clips we just don't pay attention to, but there are a few we have that definitely catch your attention. That's a great point, Ron, because this thing actually produced audible noise, and that obviously sticks out as something above and beyond normal.
Yeah, I think that the biggest problem with orbs that people are kind of on the fence with, but these are people who don't believe in the paranormal, people who do, is because in most instances the environment that you're investigating hasn't really been vetted for debunking or explaining them away ahead of time. So when it happens, there's a plethora of reasons that could be behind what was reflecting or light refraction. You don't really know. Where it's like, go to Tony's other clip, right? They're all sleeping. No one else is in the building. Something audible happens. There's no explanation for that. You've already got that far.
Right. Yep.
Yep. Great point.
I love Ron because he's very scientific. I like it.
Science and paranormal, people think these things are they're not separate at all. There's more science that supports this than there ever was for the id, ego, superego, but that's completely accepted because this stuff is crazy.
Right. Exactly.
I'm so new.
Excellent point. Excellent point.
I love your. And matter of fact, the next episode we do, documentary, we're gonna hire Ron to narrate it.
I heard higher, and I mean,
That's not spelled the way you think it
if I have
is.
to, I don't care.
You like beer, right?
I do now.
I'm learning a lot here because I'm definitely the newbie as far as this goes. I didn't know that you. So when you say manipulated the audio, are you talking just frequency spectrums, or what do you do there? Because I didn't know that was something you could even do.
Oh yeah, we did a variety of things to slow it down a little bit. We adjusted pitches, frequencies, just in order to make what was being said by the entity, because it was an absolute atrocious mess. You could hear it speaking, but not a clue as to what was being said.
I have a video you need to do this with.
Cool.
Tony is one of the best.
I can help you
people
out with that.
I've seen do that.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't occur to me that it might be. We have a video of the funeral for my uncle, and the in the room the lighting never changed. On the video, the lighting constantly changed, and it changed in response. We felt like when we watched it back, it was changing in response to what was being said, and from normal lighting to dark red hues. It was weird, and it never really occurred to me that it could mean anything, or that there might be something else there that you could look for.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you can do, that's kind of cool. So anyway, that just occurred to me. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Tony's one of the best people in the field you can give something like that to for analysis. He really is. His
Awesome.
attention to detail with that kind of stuff, with video or audio editing, is really
Good to know. I'm learning a lot. Thank you.
All right, what you
Next
got
clip.
next?
Well, I'm going to start at the top of the list because I thought this was kind of cool. It's a short one, but you definitely hear what's going on here.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops. Doing it again. Whoops.
Oh, you're playing it again?
Yes, please.
You want to play it again?
Yes, please.
All right, let's do it again.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's so cool.
Talk about somebody breathing down your neck.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly.
It's that last breath, Here it goes.
The most interesting part of that clip is every time we went down to the hospital in Ajo, we would walk around and I'd ground myself with the building and decide where I was going to place recorders. So the way Audra and I investigate is I walk through, I feel where there's hot spots, and then that's where we'll place recorders or cameras. And then we leave them and walk away. That was on the second floor on the nurses' station next to the nursery down by the birthing center. And the rest of us were downstairs and outside. Those breaths were on a recorder with nobody in the building.
So that was someone doing La Paz or something.
Yeah.
Lamaze.
Lamaze, pause, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm too old now for that stuff.
I think it was definitely a female breath, though.
Yeah.
It sounded that way. But to answer that question from AZ Paranormal Investigations, we actually had software built by an electrical engineer and a sound engineer to be able to manipulate certain aspects of audio files to a point where EVPs would be much more audible.
That's awesome. Very cool.
That's cool. Very cool.
And we buy it where?
Well, that's a good question. I guess you got to hire a software and electrical engineer and audio engineer to put it together. But to my knowledge, it's not for sale.
Oh, I smell a sellable.
That's what you have Joey for,
right?
I've got some good programs.
All right, what's the next one?
All of Us Outside.
Oh, that's a good one. I remember this one.
I'm going to play that again because that's one of my favorite things.
Yep.
Now, this is the unintelligent spirit, right?
Yeah. This is the, I swear to God, is the not smart spirit because we're all outside. Telling us to get out, we're already out. So this was Tony, Cheri, Audra, and I were down at the Phelps Dodge Hospital and placed our recorders throughout the building again. And this one was actually sitting on the receptionist counter. And you can hear us talking in the background. We're sitting 50 feet away right outside the door and picked up stuff. We caught more stuff in that hospital just by leaving equipment sitting than we did by walking around asking questions most of the time.
And simple equipment. I love a plain recorder is my go-to, and it works. Definitely.
Yep.
That's cool. That's a good clip.
Yeah, that was a good catch. I like that one.
He probably had that follow-up after he says, no, I meant to stay out. Stay out. Just missed catching that one.
Or maybe he was talking to somebody else in the building.
Yeah.
True.
These are all digital recorders, right?
Yes.
Ours are, yeah.
Very cool. When you said plain recorder, I was just
clarifying. Cheap recorder.
Yeah. Cheap digital recorder.
Very cool.
All right, here's the next one.
What the?
Play it again.
I'm going to play it again.
Hang on. I can help with this one.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, let me help with this one. You don't play it again. This actually got corrupted when I sent it to Tony.
Okay,
it was a lot louder. I was actually this is the one where I was in the hospital by myself. So the company I worked for in Phoenix before we moved would take off between Christmas and New Year's. They'd shut down. Well, everybody else had to work. Chris was sitting at home alone, and I'm like, oh, we lost Ron and Lourdes.
Yeah, we lost Ron.
Where'd they go?
But
brief intermission.
So I got bored one day and I'm like, screw this. I'm going down to the hospital. And I spent about 4.5 hours in the hospital by myself. And that recording, which got corrupted when I changed it over and sent it, they're there.
Hi.
So in that recording, imagine
we don't have any audio yet.
Imagine, if you will, there was repeatedly, I was hearing banging going on in the hospital. So I set the recorder down and I stood in the middle of the reception area and I just let it play. And on that recording, there's footsteps, and towards the end, there's a man talking along with the banging. I wish you guys could have heard it.
Yeah. Empty file. Yeah.
Now, can we play it again?
we didn't kick you off, did we, Ron?
No, I think he took that personal, when he heard that get out.
Well, I was disappointed because it's a really good clip. And when I transferred it over to the YouTube file to send it to Tony, for some reason, the sound just got wiped.
I think that happened when we played it on our show. I should have remembered that. I'm sorry, Chris.
It's all right.
That's right.
All right, let's play it again.
Serious? Okay.
No.
Yeah, everybody wanted it again.
Crunchy.
All right.
Yeah, that's nothing there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing there.
Right there.
Yep, I heard the moon. So
You were talking.
You were talking.
I know.
Yeah, you can hear the bangs too. They're really light, but you can hear them.
I'll scrub it from this spot. You should be able to hear it. Maybe.
There it is.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the original recording is, I mean, being in that hospital, locked in by yourself, and the bangs were super loud.
Yeah,
they were super, and then the footsteps were loud. I didn't hear physically with my ear the guy talking at the end of the recording until I reviewed it, but the original
that happened a lot in that location. Strange, unbelievably loud bangs out of the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I think Ron got offended again. He's gone.
Play one of his clips next.
Quit playing that. Quit playing that clip. We can't hear. Damn.
Yeah, there's other ones that have things on there. Can you do it?
Yeah, show some evidence. That quiet crap sucks.
You got
promise to play his when it comes back.
You got to listen. That's what it's all about. It's all about listening.
Yeah,
that's what my problem is. Okay, got it.
They're not back yet.
They're
not
not
listening.
back yet, though, so. Well, okay. Well, I know this one is Tony and Cheri, and our hearts and thoughts and prayers and all that go out to Cheri right now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So this one's nuts.
Ano po pangalan niyo? Ako po si Cheri.
Hi, Tony.
Kasama ko po ang asawa ko si Tony.
You've tried to communicate with spirits all over the world now.
Pwede po ba kayo magpakita sa amin? Did you hear that? Is that the only stairs that goes up there? Yeah. Are we going up again?
Wow.
I even hear me after that when he says, "Bitch, answer." I hear, "Bitch, answer me."
Yeah.
I hear there.
It's very possible. That place, that was the Diplomat Hotel in Baguio City, Philippines. And we have never experienced audio that often. And you could hear it with your own ears. Matter of fact, when Cheri and I first stepped in, 20 minutes after being in there, and Cheri's never done this before, she said, "Let's step outside." It was pouring rain. I'm like, "What do you mean step outside?" She goes, I just need to step out for a minute. So we did. And she said, can you hear those voices? I said, "Yeah, of course I can." She goes, "There's nobody in here." Her and I were the only one. The security guard wouldn't even walk within 100 feet of the building. He stopped and said, "No, you're on your own." And these voices just kept coming out of nowhere. And we got EVPs in Tagalog, English, Latin, and Japanese.
Jeez.
Oh, wow.
So those were all audible things we were hearing.
Yes.
Yep.
Good God.
Crazy.
And you can
Now,
hear
some of them in
different
there
tones.
We couldn't pick them all up, but there were times that we could flat out hear it with our own ears. And I have another one. I don't know if it was sent, but where I actually repeat what they said.
Oh wow.
One sounded like a female at one point. That was crazy.
Yeah, and actually the one who said, "I can help," that is actually a spirit from the Phelps Dodge Hospital named Michael, who actually showed up on the other side of the world when Cheri said, "I want to communicate with you," and he says, "I can help." That's the same voice that Michael.
That's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Did we miss a lot, by the way? How many did you play? 2?
4.
We blew through all of them. So.
Read all of yours.
Yeah, all yours. Just all your good ones. It's all good. Made a lot of assumptions.
All right, here comes a Ron and Lourdes.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, while we're here.
Oh, why did I play that one?
Is there an Emily here?
That's it. You're fired.
That's why I need to play them in order.
Yeah, that's exactly why. Did I get that one yet?
Yeah, I think it's like.
Is the
Let's see.
There? Do you see it, Ron, or no?
Which one are we looking for?
It seems like
The one that says my name, maybe?
I don't know if I sent that one.
No,
well, there's another.
I sent them. I sent everything that was in that original set, so it should be there.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah, I don't know if the original set had the one that said Lourdes' name, but the
which one is a good one?
the one to the left of our picture with the little gray radio, that's another one from
that one's
same.
good.
That's
okay. Let's do that.
Tom?
I gotta be honest, that's fucking weird. That's weird.
What?
No way! No way! Holy mackerel! You're recording this, right? Yeah. That's super clear. That's the clearest I've ever heard.
What was that coming out of?
That was cool.
Well,
it was so clear.
How did Jack's voice
very
get in
clear?
What was that?
That was from the same place in New Jersey, in Hackettstown. It's maybe 10 minutes maybe from the Pennsylvania border, called B. McNally's. And that was in an upstairs room. And there was an owner or somebody who was named Tom in the history of the place. Richard Michelle from New Jersey Paranormal Project had a lot of the history already kind of looked up. And so the thing was sweeping. It was really fast sweep. It was very silent, not a lot of fragmentation of audio from radio, even discernible as it swept. It was very clicky and fast. And all of a sudden that Tom was like super clear. And it sounds like somebody in the room, and it wasn't. And then she has the best reactions anytime something like a breakthrough moment like that, when the audio is just like, wow, she freaks out. And then I was like, that's insane. And then it goes, what?
Well, you said what you said was, that is weird.
Yeah, weird.
That's what you said. And he was playing, what do you mean weird? What? That's what I think
That was
happened.
great.
Play it again, Sam.
Awesome.
Play it again.
See, I thought that sounded like Jack's voice.
You're gonna play
So
it
Jack
again?
goes, what the? It sounds just like that.
Yeah, that was. You gonna play it again?
Yeah, play it again. Play it again.
Tom?
I gotta be honest, that's fucking weird. That's weird.
What?
No way! Holy mackerel! You're recording this, right? Yeah. That's super clear. That's the clearest I've ever heard.
That's
an
awesome.
awesome clip.
That was a Holte TR604 Retekis radio, Holte Paranormal Ghost Box. That box produced a lot that day.
Yeah.
Of like really strong breakthrough vocals like that one. A few of them in that location. I was really surprised at how well we got stuff like that day.
So
that Tom
clear,
was crystal
too.
clear.
That was.
That's
Yeah.
crystal clear.
That reminds me of Darren's.
Yeah.
Yeah, theirs is clear too.
Yeah, a few people were like, "That was somebody in the room," and no, there was nobody in the room. Nobody was talking.
I really, really get a kick out of the ones where nobody has to tell me because I don't hear well anyway. Like, you guys can hear those subtleties. I don't hear the subtleties at all, just because I don't have the frequency response in my ears. But like, those were words that, as far as I'm concerned, there was a person saying it.
So clear.
It's like, that's just nutty. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was a highly modulated piece of sound.
That was cool.
Highly modulated.
All right. I think I've got to play this one.
Okay.
Well, because I don't know if everybody's going to be able to stick around with us.
Okay.
Since I know it's getting late.
Are you blowing your wad right now? What are you doing?
Is this the one I think it is?
Halfway through? Give it a little more effort.
Come on, work.
Well, we're concerned about you guys.
No, it's early here. We can go forever.
Well, yeah, we can go 3 hours if you want.
Yeah.
All right. I think there's gonna be a lot of conversation about this one.
Yeah.
So go ahead and
All
try
right.
that one.
Fuck you. You're not about to tell me there's nobody in there. No way. Holy shit. Okay, the orchestra hit there. That was unnecessary. That scared the shit out of me. Okay, so like, is that a video that nobody was in that building? No, what was?
Well, that
what the hell
was
it?
that was the night we actually slept there, and that timestamp when that was captured, we are still the three of us in the room sleeping. We went to bed about 3 o'clock in the morning. This was at 6:40 or 6:50 a.m. The camera had gone from night vision to regular vision because the sun was up. The sun's coming through the east side windows of the building, creating the lighting that you're seeing in the hallway. This is the second story of the hospital. So even if somebody was walking around outside, that shadow could not display into the hallway. And the fact that it actually steps away from the wall and walks towards the camera, we cannot identify what that is.
Oh my!
Let me add to Tony's video. That section of the hospital is down by the surgery room and is down by right across from the X-ray room. And we have seen multiple shadow figures with our own eyes, heard multiple voices. And at 2:15 p.m. in the afternoon, Tony and I walked around before an investigation and opened up all the doors. And as we were walking away from where you saw that shadow, that door on the left, a door we had just opened, slammed with great force.
Oh, wow.
2 feet behind Tony and I.
Yep.
That area is so active, it's insane.
It's the most active area of that building, and we would catch every time the four of us were in there, we'd catch something down there. But to have this show up on the DVR camera, the other really interesting part was we had a FLIR camera right next to it, which was also going to the DVR and recording what the FLIR captured. The funniest part is that the shadow figure shows up on the DVR camera, but there is no disturbance at all on the FLIR. Nothing. No heat, temperature difference, nothing.
I love that clip. It's the best clip.
For the
One
audience,
of our favorites as well.
for the audience watching, just to be clear, not only is that really beyond question as far as anybody trying to debunk that, that is rare to get something of that quality when your surroundings have been vetted to the degree contamination did not happen. That is not a pedestrian level piece of evidence. That is class A by definition.
That's like class A plus.
Well, let's just say that shadows don't jump off the wall and walk down the freaking hallway after you.
No.
Okay, that doesn't happen.
And they sure as hell don't walk down the center of the hallway.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So before we watch it again,
we've been doing this, like I said, 11 and a half years. And when I saw that in review, I just about lost it. I'm like, no.
I EVP'd myself.
Yeah.
Who's playing the didgeridoo?
There's no preparing for something like that. You can't prepare for something like that. You find it, you're going to be in shock no matter how long you've been doing this. Because that's astounding. And that defies any logic or laws of science that you can imagine. It's just crazy.
Can you play it without the audio?
You would have to turn the audio down in there.
Okay. Which one is that?
That would be the phone.
The phone.
Yeah, it looks like the phone, the slider.
Okay.
You guys good if we play it again?
Can we play it again? I'm gonna turn that audio down just because I like the didgeridoo thingy, but at the same time I want to see it without. Okay, do it again. And this isn't sped up or slowed down or anything, right?
Not manipulated at all.
Freaking crazy. Yeah, so like I'm used to seeing bits of just video stuff, but that's wow.
Oh, you mean
You know, the funniest part about it too is that when it steps out into the hall, it just sucks up every bit of light in there.
So the only light source is right now. It's in daytime vision right now, right? And it's getting daylight from outside.
Correct. There's windows against
good
the
God,
right-hand
that is
side.
ridiculous. Fuck me. That's just not okay. Oh my good gracious.
And it
Wow.
walks up the hallway.
Wow.
It almost
I don't
looks like
what the hell
person
it does.
carrying
It's-
a body.
Dude, it's
Right?
just
It
Oh
looks
my
almost
goodness.
like a person who carrying a body with their arms out in front of them holding somebody.
but there's a bunch of
It
stuff
does.
there. Oh my,
That's crazy.
there's more. Oh my goodness
And
gracious.
it actually interrupts the camera feed a
There's
little bit
multiple
too. when that
things.
It
occurs.
does. It causes a disturbance in the camera feed.
This makes me hurt. This is so freaking unbelievably.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good thing none of this paranormal stuff is real, huh?
Well, this is
That'd be really scary otherwise.
Yeah.
it's not even like scary. It's not scary so much. It's just it's awesome, and at the same time, it's like, what the hell am I supposed to do with that?
You know what gives me the
my
creepy crawlies is that they both run into that room that the door slammed behind us.
Every bit of activity in that hospital is exactly where they are. So Chris, we've run into that and them how many times? But that was in almost 4 years. That was the only time we got them on camera.
Yeah.
What the living crap? That is insane.
It is, right?
Yeah, that's
Let me tell you guys something about that same room that those shadow figures ran into. I was down there before we started giving the daytime tours, and my son and his fiance was with me, and it was 11:30, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and we were blacking out windows so we could black out some of the hospital for the tours so they could get kind of an impression of what it was like at night.
Right.
And standing in that x-ray room, there was a scream that came out from the outside of the hallway, and I thought my son's fiance was going to pee herself. And it came from that same section, and it was a loud female scream. So that section of that hospital, I can't believe that place is no longer open for investigations. But
Yeah, that's so
kills
sad.
me. Just breaks my. But You know, at some point, maybe it'll open as a hotel, and I'll be the first one there staying the night.
Yeah.
Right?
That would be so much fun for like the 6 of us to do that. Like an opening night to,
They could make some money. They could make some money renting out haunted rooms. You know?
That's what I told them, but they wanted nothing to do with it. They kept saying, "Wait, what? Are these entities still going to be there if we remodel?" I'm like,
probably.
Yep.
I can tell you right now, they are in for a surprise because what is in that hospital has no intentions of leaving.
Right.
And with the remodeling, it'll probably get worse.
It'll absolutely escalate it, no doubt about it.
It's a Motel 666.
Yeah, bring up Christine's question.
Yeah, Christine had a good question.
I'm so sorry. I'm completely freaking out of it. Like,
You're
what's
good.
going on? Holy shit.
Yeah. So each of you can answer
Yeah,
that
each of
question.
you guys can
That'd be
answer that
fun.
question.
But who wants to start?
I think I already answered. I mean, I'm very simple. I love a plain old digital recorder. That is literally my go-to. I love it. I take it everywhere. So, yep.
I'm my favorite piece of equipment. I don't carry any equipment.
Me too.
Yeah. I don't carry any equipment with me because it throws off what I'm feeling walking through the locations, and it throws off me finding hot spots where we catch good stuff. So
I carry the equipment.
Yeah.
Questions. So there's windows on that building. Are they flat windows? Are they windows with sills?
They're little in that room, and the one that the light was coming in, they're little square.
It's a glass
3-inch, 4-inch blocks.
Glass block. So
they're-
there's no frame. Awesome.
No.
Thank you.
That window is that thick, and it's about 6 foot by 8 foot.
There's no
Yep.
sill outside for anything to sit on.
No. It's a straight drop.
Thank you.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Freaking out.
I am freaking out. I'm freaking out because I know a person that's smarter than me that has questions that you just ended. So thank you.
All right.
My God. Oh, I'm giddy. Okay, cool. Let's move on.
All right, Ron, how about you guys?
You go first.
Well, no, because I love the radios that we have, but I'm kind of like Audra. I really, really love my recorder and my EVPs. I'm fascinated that when it's an empty room and it's just me alone or me and him and you catch a voice, I'm like, I still get blown away by that.
Yeah.
Even though I do love the radios. I do.
Yeah, no, and I love EVP. I love any audio stuff, direct radio voice, ghost boxes, EVP, because one of the cool things about those, and you talked about people who might have questions or whatever, is that those are PPOs. Those are permanent paranormal objects. And so if you get touched or pushed or scratched, you can tell that story, but you can't really examine it over and over and over again, share it, present it, document it. So when you have audible evidence like that, you can re-examine it and revisit it and go over it and share it and have colleagues look at it. And so it's got permanence to it. For me, I like the ITC aspect of it, either the ghost boxes or when we use a direct radio, like a long wave frequency barren of any radio emissions, and just do what's a European method of earlier ITC called direct radio voice, because ITC was really birthed in a lot of ways for real-time communication, to take the step from EVP where you record, review, revisit, and make that into what we're doing right now, almost like, a duplex communication system where you have two-way communication, either one at a time or simultaneously like a phone. So
Right.
I love that. I love being able to try to get real-time talk.
And that's why I like direct radio voice as opposed to the spirit boxes, even though I like the spirit boxes, because there's a purity to it, like an EVP, like a regular EVP session. There's purity to that. And I'm fascinated by that.
Yeah, I don't know
when
what that
there's
is. That's crazy.
No radio frequencies involved, even with the sweeping. We were doing a direct radio session here a couple weeks back, and we set the big radio up on a long wave channel. No radio emissions, none. You can't, and the whole band. We get up to leave the room to go get something to drink before we start. We're letting it establish what's called a connection bridge by running the frequency for a little while idle. We get 2 doors away to the kitchen, and a voice clearly comes out of the radio and says, "You're leaving?"
Yeah.
So what you're talking about isn't sweeping radio frequencies.
No. This predates the sweeping radio ghost box, spirits box. It's called direct radio voice. It's a lot more prominent in Europe, and they won't denounce the ghost boxes. They clearly work.
I will.
But they were going for funding for grants for research. They were, at symposiums with physicists and astrophysicists and biologists and all these different people. So anything that you could add into the equation, like human phonetics from a radio, that could lend some kind of fodder to somebody who's trying to debunk it, they don't want that in the equation. And when you do direct radio, you have none of that. It's, she said, a purity to it. That's
cool.
why that's more prominent over there. But it's fascinating when you get it.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that. I love that exists, because I personally, being more of a skeptic, obviously, when the spirit boxes were explained to me and I'm like going, it's scanning radio frequencies. I'm like, well, what the, that didn't make sense to me, because our brains pick up patterns. So it was easy for me to see, you're just making stuff up. That's what I always felt when they put the print on the screen. It always bothered me, because I felt like I'm being guided to that. Right. I love this stuff. Like, nobody had to say a word about that video. I'm freaking seeing that shit. And like the one you had where with the clear voices and responses, like there's no denying that. You don't have to tell me what he said. I heard it. And like, that's the kind of stuff that I love. That's cool. Like direct radio. That's cool.
That was a sweeping ghost box. That Tom and that what was not direct radio voice. That was actually sweeping frequencies.
Okay.
So when you examine those pieces of evidence, you want to look for timing and relevance to vet whether or not it's an authentic response. For one, and for two, the concept of pareidolia, or you're being tricked into hearing what you want and your mind seeing patterns, and it happens.
Yeah.
But when something's that prominent, you can discern between what you might be hearing and what's clear.
Right.
And the people who use that as an explanation for why the ghost boxes and stuff aren't legit, they don't ever explain the gaps. And the gaps by mean is if I ask 100 questions and I get responses on 4 of them,
right?
What physiologically, biologically, what's happening in my body that is not tricking me the other 96 times I get nothing? Because every time I ask a question, I want an answer. I know what I'm looking for, but only 4 of the times I was tricking myself and hearing a pattern. Why? Why did it not happen the other night? And nobody has yet that I know of scientifically explained those gaps.
That's understandable. I still like the direct radio idea. That's just,
it's
to me,
pure.
I like she said, pure. Absolutely. 100%.
And for those people out there watching that, you hear talk about the sweeping frequencies and you can pick up patterns. So most of the devices that are used for ghost hunting that use sweeping frequencies, they're sweeping through frequencies so fast that you can't even pick up. You can't pick up a vowel. You can't pick up a variable. You can't even pick up a hint of a word, because it's sweeping through those frequencies so fast that it's not going to pick up solid words, and it sure as hell isn't going to pick up solid sentences. So when you pick up a solid sentence or a solid word that is a direct response to the question you asked, that in correlation to the question you asked, it's undeniably paranormal evidence, because the frequencies are moving so fast. There's no way you can form 3 to 4 words, sometimes even a sentence, that some people pick up on their frequencies.
Or even like your name.
Well, you can hear the frequencies change throughout the sentence, yet the vocal tone of the voice stays the same. There's no change in the voice. It completes 3 or 4 words to answer the question asked. I mean, come on, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that if it's sweeping at 100 beats per millisecond, you aren't going to get 4 words from the same voice. Not possible.
No, and that's the thing that's neat, that when it is that clarity of a sentence or a word or a response. But so many times in again, very, very limited exposure I've had to this stuff, one of the things that always drives me nuts is when the first exposure to that video clip is them printing it, and that's mostly just like the cable shows that I've seen, is where they write the sentence there while they're playing the audio, and I don't like that, because I'm hearing it because I'm seeing it. I'm a very visual person. So there's the idea that I can be shown the words and not hear it, to me is like, well, that kills it for me. I love when they just play, when I hear it and it's clearly there. You know what I mean? That's just like the visual turning the audio off, the letting one of those senses work more for me. It's just because I'm a I don't know what you call it, simpleton, idiot, whatever it is. But yeah, it's either shut your eyes. This is a good. This is what I prefer to do because of that.
You shut your eyes when you pay the rest of our clips, then, because I added words to.
So that's when you have to figure out, the quality of the work that you're putting out, right? So if it's very low and you're putting the words there, I can understand why you wouldn't like that, because your mind can trick you. But that's why you need to present the better quality work because
this
the
again, this is
fear.
not to put anything down on it. The reality is, for me, it's such. I want to experience these things. So this is really cool that you're sharing this stuff. And if you've noticed or not, I'm not looking at the screen when he's playing these audio clips because I don't want to see that because I want to hear it, and my hearing's not very good, so it makes it great. For
everybody's inner mechanism for what they need to get over hurdles, to have a stronger belief in whatever this stuff means, what the origins of it, how it's possibly happening. That's a very personal thing. And when we could try to pitch and sell you on the concept of how this and that works, and as long as you have an understanding of how the device in play works, then you have to use your own level of discernment with stuff. And like she was saying, and decide, is this something of quality to put forth? Because you can hear, with less question, with a classification of A in quality versus something where you're kind of struggling. It's a voice, but you don't really know what it is.
Right. And I love that you guys are sharing this stuff, and I appreciate the knowledge you're giving me because I don't know squat about any of this stuff. So it's really, really cool. Thank you.
Well, to Jack's point, it even happens on investigations, though, when you think about it, especially if you're with a large group. I've had a couple of ours where somebody would say, "Oh, there's a shadow over in that corner." And then all of a sudden you start seeing something, but then you start questioning, you start going, all right, is it just my brain? Because they said there was a shadow, and is that really what I'm seeing over there? So it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, we can influence ourselves and others.
Right.
Well, and that's how you tell the difference between a seasoned paranormal investigator and a non-seasoned paranormal investigator, because the new people are excited about everything they catch, so they try and produce the evidence and show you guys, look, I caught this, and look, this is a disembodied voice. I can't tell what it's saying, but people like all of us that go out and that have been doing it for so long, we're only going to prevent you. We're only going to show you the stuff that stands out.
Right.
I can't tell you how many thousands pieces of evidence that we threw away that, you could have said it was paranormal, but we just couldn't prove it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And that's so important when you're showing something. But, I agree with Ron and Lourdes too. The audio for me is definitely the be all end all. And for me, here's why. EVPs have been captured since the first single wire recorder, and every recording device after that, EVPs have showed up on. But the best part about the audio is that before you even get to what's being said, you ask a question, they give a response. Before we even get to response, I can tell you whether it's an adult or a child. I can tell whether it's male or female. I can tell whether there's whatever language they're speaking, whether there's a dialect, an accent. I get all that information before I even get to what they responded. And then I get their response on top of it. So the amount of information that I can defer from that response far outweighs any other piece of equipment.
Yeah, absolutely. I could not have said that better. That's just brilliantly said. And historically, like Tony was saying, that has always been the way. When Edison created the first magnetic recording cylinder, there was a very prominent French scientist who came forward and said, surely he is doing that by ventriloquism.
Right.
He wasn't. He wasn't.
No, his lips didn't move.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah, there was a comment a ways back where Benny, I believe, was talking about the hospital, and that they'd caught a little girl giggling, I think.
Was it Wendy?
Maybe it was Wendy.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yep, that was it. That
I completely believe. We actually caught an infant crying, which was the craziest thing, because we were with a gentleman that was helping us do some filming, and he came running up and he's like, "What the hell is that?" Like, it's like a baby. He's like, "Are you sure it's not a?" He's like, "Maybe it's a bird or a cat." I'm like, "Listen, does that sound like a bird or a cat?" He's like, "No."
So the question I have for you guys, though, because there's a couple on here that have a little girl humming, and I don't know, this says little girl safe. I don't know, are either of those at the Phelps Dodge?
No.
Chris, that was yours.
Yeah, those are out here in North Carolina. Those were actually caught at
Devil's
Tramping Ground. It's been around since the 1800s. They believe that there's a circle out in the middle of the woods about 2 hours from here that nothing grows, and they've tested the soil, and the soil matches the soil everywhere out in the forest, across the road, everything. Nothing explains the fact that nothing will grow in this circle. And the legend is that the devil dances in circles there at night, and that's where he plans his evil that he's going to commit on the world. So we decided to go out there because people go out there and do stupid stuff. They do rituals and crap like that. So we decided to go out there. Our subdivision of subsidiary of EV Entity Voices Paranormal Investigations.
The southern part.
It's called Southern Entities.
We are in the South.
Because we are in the South now. So Carrie Hopper is also a member of the group out here. She lives in Raleigh. We went out to the Devil's Trampling Ground, and I started getting feelings of a native nature, Native American. And Audra was saying that she could hear, or she was sensing a little boy and a little girl. And I actually started dancing around the circle at one point, and they looked at me like I was insane and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "This is what I'm feeling here."
Right.
Well, that's some of the evidence that we caught. And then I did a little bit deeper research, and that was actually a sacred spot where they did prayer rituals of the indigenous Native Americans here prior to Columbus hitting Plymouth Rock.
Oh, wow.
So it's the Devil's Trampling Ground is a folklore. It's actually Native American.
It's more sacred than
anything else.
Yeah.
Right. Well, let's play those two.
Yeah, we could do that. So this is the humming one. It's nice and short.
Yes.
One more time.
So the intriguing part about that is that circle's maybe 50 feet across in diameter, and Audra's on one end, Cheri's on the other end. I'm on a different side of it, and we had 3 or 4. I had one recorder sitting in the middle and one sitting off to the side, and they were each carrying a recorder. And Cheri actually caught that just on hers. It wasn't caught on the 4 other recorders that we were playing.
It sounds really
It's very telling. It's very telling.
Yeah, and it sounds directed. Like it may have been directed to just that one recorder. It's very clear.
Yeah. Yep.
For sure.
Yeah, the safe one's really cool. Audra caught this on her recorder. It's the only recorder that got caught on.
Let's do that one.
Just wanted to get to know you.
Wow.
Yeah, do that again.
Just wanted to get to know you.
Yeah. Whisper. That was cool.
Yeah.
Now that one sounds distant.
Yeah.
Mhm. But you can tell it's a child. It seems like a child. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But you guys got to know too that this is, the nearest town's 25 miles away. The nearest house is at least 2 miles. This is way out in the woods. There's nothing else around. So
apparently there was.
Yeah.
Other than us, yeah.
Yeah.
No one's whispering from their house 20-something miles
Right.
away.
No.
It's a heck of a recorder.
Right.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That was creepy almost.
Yeah.
It very.
What do you got left?
Hmm?
What do you got
Well,
left
we have
on
a few left. That's why, and maybe if you could bring it back up again, because I'd like to at least make sure we cover the ones that they would like to, you know, talk about. So if you want to bring this
Your screen back up again?
Yeah.
We can do that.
Let's see if
Nice.
Oh,
I'll
that
scroll
one,
it.
the ghost portal.
Oh yeah.
You can play the ghost portal. That one's pretty cool. Do you see it? I think, what does it say? Find ghost portal?
Yeah, it's the third one. It's the 4th row up from the 2 on the bottom on the far right.
Right next to the skeleton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, here
That's
we go.
from the same investigation we did at that place in Hackettstown, New Jersey, near Pennsylvania, with the same Holte Paranormal Ghost Box. This is a sweeping radio, but again, really very prominent vocal.
Should he change the batteries? Who's upstairs? Can you see who's upstairs?
Ghost portal.
Ghost
What?
portal.
That's his room.
That's his room.
I can't. I get so
I
excited.
love that clip.
That's crazy.
You
The
can
ghost-
hear it, right?
Oh yeah.
The ghost portal was nuts. That was crazy.
Yeah.
How would it know?
Yeah, she hears so much in the moment too, and her reactions are the best. It's
Classy.
That's what makes it so fantastic, because her energy level when she's hearing it just makes it. But the responses themselves crystal clear.
Oh yeah.
And let's face it. I mean, somebody could be like, "Oh, you're picking up stray radio waves," or okay, I'm sorry, I don't know how many radio stations say ghost portal when that's what that doesn't happen.
She comes on after Delilah.
Yeah.
And it's sweeping, like you said, Tony, and it's the same voice. That's his room.
Right.
It's sweeping.
Yeah.
How?
It's repeating itself. It's the same person.
Yeah.
It's not, "Oops, they did it again."
No, those are the hurdles we deal with, right? It's radio bleed through, which Tony explained very well, and as did Chris with the speed of the sweep. No, the other thing that people throw out there is that your mind is imprinting these things or projecting them out of your head. Listen, one of the very well-known ITC or EVP pioneers, Friedrich Jurgensen, had once said in an interview when they threw that at him, if my mind could project and modulate sound into radios, so it came out modulated, sounding like different genders, sounding like children with humor, metaphors, masculine, feminine, I'd be the most powerful person on the freaking planet.
Right.
True.
Yep.
That's the variety of what comes out. That's not, your mind is not creative. I can't come out of things and project languages I don't even know.
Right.
Not well, anyway.
No.
No.
Not even the one I know.
So, Jack, were you able to hear those?
I heard
Did you hear
ghost portal incredibly clearly.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And it's his room. The room. Yeah.
Well, we did an experiment just a couple weeks ago with our haunted doll Julie.
Yes.
And well, actually, it was with Wendy's doll that we did the experiment. And her doll was a German doll, so we decided that we were using just a regular spirit box, but we were asking the questions in German. So I had the translator on my phone ask the questions, and there was a couple times we got German responses
Through the spirit
Wow.
through the spirit box.
Yep.
Don't know what it said, but
Nine. I was.
I think one of the best examples of that kind of capture, I believe, we should defer to Mr. Rathman, because he's gotten Tagalog, right, from the Philippines in places where they're not broadcasting.
Japanese, Latin. Yeah.
But the fun part is outside of the Latin. I mean, my wife speaks all the other three: English, Japanese, and Tagalog. So I don't know the Latin. We still don't know what Koji Lili means. So if anybody knows, let us know. But
dirty.
It's what you say when you tickle somebody.
Yeah, but that was the only language that wasn't understandable by my wife. So
And
interesting
we've
stuff.
gotten responses in Spanish in the Glen Tavern.
Yeah, at the Glen Tavern Inn in Santa Paula, California.
Mm-hmm.
Her and my other friend Adam Nodor from Supernatural Investigating, they both spoke Spanish. They asked questions, and we were getting Pam, yep, and we were getting C and responses that were Spanish words coming out of a hack radio.
Yep.
Wow.
That's
Are you guys getting a thunderstorm right now or anything? Because you just had something really weird happen to your background.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that too. Actually, the two times we got booted off, I got the blue screen with the sad face on my computer. And it did it once a couple weeks ago. Never did it before, and now it's twice. It did it tonight.
Yeah, that was a weird.
Yeah.
It kind of
But
flashed
you guys
yellow.
see-
It was kind of,
Yeah,
it was
we
like-
got
Our background,
yellow kind of.
it
Yeah.
was almost like the lighting didn't support the green screen.
Mhm.
yeah. I mean, I always say that because we always have weird shit happen here in the studio all the time. So
Especially when you play with dolls.
You never know. You just never know.
Yeah.
Just a couple of dudes playing with dolls.
No, baby.
Wow.
Not the kind
The
of
paranormal has opened up a whole new world for us.
That's right.
I was gonna say that just completely ruined it for me. When you just said that. A couple of dudes playing with dolls.
Oh, well.
Hey, at least you didn't have
Not
to
so
blow them
normal.
up.
Yeah. That'd be a good
But
band
it's
name.
haunted.
Dudes playing with dolls.
Dudes playing with dolls.
Para not so normal.
Yeah, exactly.
So normal.
Oh, this is going to go out the rails now.
Yeah, it is. You have any more clips here? We can go through them all.
Oh, there's more clips.
There's more clips. Play clips. That's a clip show.
All right, let's bring it up and you guys can choose.
Choose your destiny.
That one.
I know. I heard. Was that an AVP?
I think the only one we have left is that last one that says "Visit Back Porch." That's, I think, the last one we have.
But
Yeah, let's do
where's
that.
the
I don't know if there's any other ones from ours. These are good
And
ones.
I know. I'm trying to find.
That Visit Back Porch one is it's a Holte Paranormal box. It's called a Forever box because she said it takes forever to build it. It's got AM and FM. It's got forward and reverse sweep, which you can do at the same time. So it can reverse the speech 50%, 20% while it does some of the speech forward. That helps with the credibility of a vocal when you get it, especially if it's in any kind of reverse mode. It has linear and random sweep, which for anybody who's new to the sweeping concept, sweeping is if you took an old radio tuner dial and just spun it and it just kept going in a circuit kind of a fashion. When it's random, it jumps up and down all over the band in various ways. So that this one has a random. I think it was on a random sweep. At the time, I was on the back patio or porch of our house. It was like 2 a.m.
All right.
Visit back porch. Morning.
Play that again.
All right.
Visit back porch. Morning.
That one was just kind of odd because I was on the back porch, finishing up a cigar. Actually, it was like 2 a.m, and I wasn't asking any questions. I was just recording the Forever box, and it said "Visit Back Porch." I think the very early sound slurred because I think it was both jumping the band and reversing part of the speech at the same time, and that may account for the lack of clarity on that portion of it. But "Visit Back Porch" and then "Morning" were really clear, and that was spot on where I was.
Yeah, that's cool. They were
Just
watching
missing the cigar.
At 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, can't waste a good one.
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
Did we
Did you
miss any
guys
others?
play the roll
Sorry.
call one that Tony has? Did you guys play that when we were off?
Which one?
I
Roll
don't think
call.
we played that one.
The one with all the names, the one with spirit.
Is that on
No,
your?
It's right there.
Spirit
Spirit
guide.
guides.
Okay, that's what I was going to hit that one next.
Oh, that one's
Of course.
good.
That one is really good.
That one is good.
Where do you hang out when we're not here? You step down when we come home? So you're up in heaven and you can step down onto the earth plane. That's right? Yes. Would you mind telling me your name so I know which spirits I am speaking with. Did you say evil? Hello. Would you be then what we call spirit guides?
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is a statistical anomaly, because if you take the whole bleed through of radio or any of that kind of concept and try to apply it there, it's going to fall apart instantly. He asked for names and he got several. Clearly. In succession.
Again, it's the relevance and timing. You know, what was asked, what came through, how quickly. That's how you can tell whether you're making a connection versus whether you're getting some stray radio wave, some walkie-talkie wave, baby monitor. I mean, the relevance and timing to what I asked and what I received, really hard to debunk that.
Even the quit filming, because you were filming.
And I didn't even ask that question, but that was about as powerful. Quit filming.
Yes, I love that one. I love that one. Quit filming.
Well, when you asked about the spirit guide too, you had several answers after that too.
Sure. Yeah.
Warnings. Yep.
Yeah, that is a very strong piece of audible evidence.
It is, and that was an original Huff portal which ran off of two different guitar pedals and an amp. I mean, that's literally all it is. And then there's a denoise pedal that takes some of the hissing out of it. That was an SP7.
Yep.
And the clarity that it would produce was not bad at that time. That was probably, oh my God, I think we put that together 10 and a half or more years ago. Chris has it now and is taking it out in the next month or two, right, Chris?
2 weeks. It'll be
nice.
Soon.
Yeah.
To be fair, Tony, it's not bad at this time either.
There's some truth there, but the communication factor that we get, I owe all to Cheri, because she made me stop going in there and just roughly asking questions and said, stop, introduce yourself, tell them why we're here. And I did that every time after. And that's what allows us to get the communication that we get today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Intent and emotion are measurable energies. Brain scans pick up on those things, feelings, they're measurable. So if we can measure them with equipment here, it stands to reason that where you're trying to communicate also can. And that again too is just not just timing and relevance, but abundance. That was stuff that had timing and relevance, and not just one of them. Many of them.
Thank you. Yes.
Yep, I love that one.
Yeah, that's a great clip.
That was cool.
That was very cool.
That was cool.
Wow, this has been a blast.
Was that all of it?
Was that? I think that was all the clips. Huh?
I think it was.
You guys had a hell of a lot more than we gave you.
There's 6 of us that helped.
That's true.
Oh, and that's not even half of what we have.
I bet. Yeah. As long as you've been at it.
I got to say, I have a lot of my favorites when it comes to evidence that either we've collected or seen from other people, but your shadow figure really does it.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, save it to the end too, you big jerk. But I'm glad you didn't. So now you can play it again.
Well, no, you have to go on their YouTube channel and watch the whole clip, because you can see the FLIR camera.
I'm gonna throw a fit.
Yeah.
You need to play it
Well, and that's the holy grail. I mean, that capture that Tony got is the holy grail.
Seriously.
And one of the reasons Yeah, one of the reasons why we use digital recorders and why we use ITC equipment and radio sweep waves and stuff like that is because the communication, I mean, we're all out there trying to get answers, and the communication comes through those devices. And that's where we get most of our evidence that we capture. Capturing what Tony captured, I mean, how many years have you been investigating there? How many years did we investigate there? And I caught one shadow figure through a laser grid, and then you caught that.
Yeah, no, Chris is absolutely Chris is absolutely right. That is a holy grail capture. And
what did you capture on a laser grid? I heard him say he captured something on a laser
grid.
No,
I have a video at the Phillips Dodge Hospital of a shadow figure moving through the laser grid.
Oh, how freaking cool!
Oh,
yeah, that's rare. I have one in about a decade. I have one photo taken of the entrance to boiler room number 3 of the Queen Mary from 2013, where there was nobody in the door, but it's literally like a 6 foot something tall, robed, very like Reaperish looking, hooded robe shadow figure standing in the doorway. You see like a bony hand like in front of the door.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, that's an awesome photo.
When you see it on video,
and it's 2 of them. It's not even one.
Yeah.
It's 2.
At the end, there's another one that comes out of the room, follows it across to the other room.
It's hard to get one, and you got 2.
You got 2. Yeah, that's crazy.
A good word for that. A good word for that on a show that talks about beer would be sobering. That is a sobering
moment. Yeah, very much so.
Or holy shit.
Yeah, holy shit kind of was where I was at. Yeah.
Well, can we play your shadow video again for Jack real quick? He wants to see it again.
Let me see it again.
Sure.
You got to turn the sound down?
Never gets
No, I'm
old.
gonna leave the didgeridoo rocking this time.
All right.
Okay, here we go.
With the full effect.
They get the weirdest people from all over the place.
You can't do without this. I know we already watched it 2 times.
The best part is you hear Jack in the background going, Jesus.
Yeah.
It's such a great freaking capture.
So what was crazy watching it? I probably watched this thing 30 times, but I really watched the first shadow that came in. It almost looked like he was backing up into the hallway, right? I mean,
there's so many things that I can see in that thing.
Yeah.
And it's just in every single one of them, I have no explanation for. Like, those aren't. I want to see the damn glass. Like, they're not frosted blocks or anything like that, right? They're just blocks, like glass blocks, right?
No, they're frosted.
Are they frosted?
Yes.
Oh, good God.
But again, Jack, there's nothing that would make a shadow walk down a hallway.
I know
that's the whole thing.
This is what I'm saying though, because
That's a tall son of a bitch.
Frosted glass
Before we
changes the way the
even
light goes.
released
Couldn't
that,
do something that sharp.
Right.
we went through every plausible explanation that we could think of.
I know this, but
And,
you got to remember, I'm smarter than everybody else on the planet. There's no way in hell that you guys, you know what I mean? I've wanted to see something like that my entire life. So
let
the
me
fact
freak
that it
you
exists, and I've got to get everything out of my head that's a possibility, because that is the coolest shit I've ever seen in my life.
So let me help you out a little
undeniably.
bit. That frosted glass block window that's 6 foot by 8 foot in that surgery room. There's 2 of them side by side, right, Tony?
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Have been there since 1918.
Yep.
That is not plexiglass. That's not manufactured glass. That is hand blown glass. That is frosted. You can't see through it. And that's an 8-inch thick glass block window. That is not, it doesn't have a space in it, so light can't travel between the glass block. That is solid glass block that is frosted.
And what floor is it on? Chris,
It's
what
on
floor?
the second floor with nothing on the exterior except a sheer drop. And technically, at that section of the building, it's on the 3rd floor because there's a maintenance level below the 1st floor.
Right. That's true.
It's about 2.5, 3 stories up.
What is the name of that place again? What is the name of the place again?
Old Phelps Dodge.
Phelps
Mining
Dodge.
Hospital.
Yeah, the name of it now is no longer accessible.
Oh, I don't need to go see there. I'm just gonna get on Google and I gotta Google map it, and me and my wife gotta have a fist fight.
Yeah, we were disappointed because we were planning on going out there.
Yeah.
To see
Yeah,
it.
they had planned a trip just to experience that building, and
How awesome.
we found out just days after that overnight stay, which I'm so glad we did, that it was gone and sold, and we even had to turn in our keys because they weren't even letting us back in.
Yeah, they got my damn rocking chair too. Bastards.
Maybe they'll back out at the last minute or something.
You know what?
Right, exactly. I'll keep my fingers crossed too.
If they haven't demolished the place, there's still a chance.
There's still a chance.
We could start a Go Hunt Me account and see if we can buy it.
There you go.
I've made lots of shitty decisions in my life. I'm like, let's just go.
I love that.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Well, I really want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. This was a blast. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, it was a blast. We had fun.
Yeah, you guys made our show fantastic when you were there. Our door, I think Tony and Chris and Audra and Cheri and Lourdes would agree, is always open.
Yep.
You guys
Yes,
come back.
always.
Yeah, we'd love to come back on and do another episode with you guys. And likewise, you guys can come back on.
Absolutely.
When you guys start getting evidence, we'll be happy to share it. And you guys are just incredible. You really are.
So who's on your show next week? On next Monday?
Good question.
I can answer that. Has anyone seen the trailer for Sleepless Unrest?
No.
Sleepless Unrest is a movie that's hitting the theaters and certain on-demand video platforms. It is about investigators that went to the original Conjuring house and spent 2 full weeks there.
We saw that. Didn't we see that?
They were at Penhurst when we saw.
Yeah, this one's at the Conjuring house. So we are going to talk about that. Our guests are going to be the new owners of the Conjuring house, Corey and Jennifer Heinzen.
Oh,
Yeah,
And of
they're
course,
great.
you can't do a show about the original Conjuring house without bringing on a guest known as Andrea Parent.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, we went to that house. We went to that house in July, and it was an experience. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wow. So how can everybody tune in next Monday to see
Next
that?
Monday, they can tune in 3 different places. The first is kgradb.com, which is the station that puts out our show. You can also go to KGRA's Facebook page. We are live there, or their YouTube channel. We are live there as well.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
be there.
KGRA.
I'll be there too.
A is in KGRA, G is in GRA, R is in RA, A is in.
Don't forget the DB.
Phonetically now. Do it phonetically.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. That should be cool.
Yeah.
Should be very cool. So, well, again, thank you guys. Really appreciate it. And we will definitely do this again sometime. This was a blast. It was a lot of fun.
It was. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate
All right, guys.
it very much.
Well, have a great night. I know it's late there, so get some sleep.
We'll try.
We'll see you guys soon.
All right, sounds great.
Nice, guys.
Good night.
Jack's mind is
I don't even
blown.
know what to say. I'm like, holy crap balls. Like, what the shit, dude? Like, oh my God. I mean, like, I appreciate their expertise and all this stuff, but you know me, I'm like, show me the money kind of thing. Like, I'm stupid enough that like the real intelligent needing stuff is hard for me.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't know how that works. It doesn't make sense to me. But that is
well, they're a freaking awesome group.
Yeah,
all 6 of them. They're really cool.
I don't care if they suck, man. Like, that is the most ridiculous thing in the world. Like, aside from the fact that they're really cool people, that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, yeah, because anything else you see, you don't have any, and there's just too many ways to explain it away.
Right.
And I mean, as it is, I'm gonna have to go on Google Maps and I'm gonna try to check this building out and like just to verify that this is all this. That's just nuts. It's so cool. That's so freaking cool. But good gracious.
Well, when Joey and I were on their show, they mentioned it, and we're like, "Oh, we got to go watch that video clip." And as soon as I saw it, I'm like, "I'm posting the shit out of this."
That is just ridiculous.
Awesome.
Like, it's just like, oh, clearly that's a dude walking in front of a freaking window. I'm like, how big is that fucking glass block window? Like, what? The sharpness of that image.
Well, the shadows against the
it doesn't even matter where.
I know. I mean, the shadow covers the light. That's
and having no perspective of what that building is, where the light's coming from, anything. It looks most like there's a glass at the end of whatever that hallway is. So light's casting towards that wall that we're looking at.
Right.
So the shadow would be coming from between that glass and the camera, right? There's something walking around back there. But the size of it and the size, it changes. It's different shapes. At one point, there's like 2 in a row.
There's 2 in a row. Yeah.
It's like, is it bugs? It can't be bugs. How fucking big would those bugs have to be? Because again, the sharpness of that, if it's that big of a light source, it can't be that. It can't be that large on the wall,
right?
Unless it was. I mean, just can't. That's freaking cool. That's freaking cool.
And the thing is, every time the shadows appeared, you see the camera glitch,
dude. When that was the thing, like I see those little glitches in the anomaly, like in my own home security system. I see that, and like all the kinds of digital anomalies that I see in normal video feeds. That was clearly not anomaly. It's something that the camera's picking up. Yep. And that's just yeah, I peed a little and just wow, that was, I mean, okay.
Well, even the sleeping video was
and that was the thing. Yeah, the parabolic microphones and the time. Look, we talked about this when we were at the other place, having that multiple source thing in the way and synchronizing it. That's a really, really cool tool.
Yep. These
guys definitely got their stuff down as far as just the tools go in general to make it that much more verifiable. Because how in the shit is there that much noise going on? Like,
when you hear the door squeak open, you hear, I mean, it was clear.
Well, you hear so much stuff that it's definitely stuff.
Yeah.
And voices. Yeah.
So
great.
It's that was fantastic.
We knew Jack was gonna like that. Huh?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
We did.
Except now I gotta go have an argument with my wife.
Don't do that.
No, I don't want to. He's just telling me. At least I'll show you guys. Anyway, let's cut this thing out. I guess yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us. It was a blast. It was a lot of fun. I have no idea what's in store for next week.
Roasty oatmeal.
We'll get it figured out.
We'll get that figured out. But I hope everybody has a happy and safe 4th of July, because that is coming up next weekend.
Yes.
Oh shit, we gotta go rodeo stuff. Okay, good.
Ooh, nice, fun.
Damn.
But please go subscribe to their channel, their YouTube channel. Absolutely, they have really. I'm aside from what we showed tonight, they got other really cool shows on there as well. So go check them out. Entity Voices.
Yeah, on Yeah. KGRB? No, KBR. Nike.
KG? Yeah, we watched the last 10 minutes of the show.
KGRB.
There was some letters in there. I don't know.
We totally
there's some fun programming on there.
Yeah.
There really is.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Oh, you screwed me all up, Jack. What'd you do?
Nothing.
I didn't do it.
I didn't do it. I did it.
Yeah. And thanks everybody for joining us tonight.
Peace out and have a wonderful day.
And if you haven't subscribed to us, please do that. Go subscribe to our channel, which I think most people have.
And give us a thumbs up.
Yes, give us a thumbs up. Let us
on
know
this
what you
video.
think. And until next time, this has been TTABA, The Unexplained
Paranormal Talk with
Entity Voices. All right, good night, everybody. We'll see you.